صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن أعداءهم من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters, respected viewers, welcome to Karbala. Welcome to land of Hussein. Welcome to land of Abbas alayhum assalam. How can I start this Welcome to Karbala live Ziyarah show while in these days the household of Imam Hussein alayhi salam have been taken as captives, and they have taken to Kufa, and after that they are moved to Sham. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Bibi Zainab, Salamu alayha. How is Bibi Zainab spending her time in these days? May Allah bless all the mu'mineen and mu'minat who are commemorating these days and sympathy with Ahlul Bayt. Salawatullahi wa salamu alayhim ajma'in. May Allah bless all of you, dear brothers and sisters, who are watching this live Ziyarah show and miss Karbala and would like to be here in Karbala, to send salam to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam and feel being here, being a Za'ar of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Inshallah, we're here to make it possible for every one of you to feel him or herself in Karbala. So, if you're ready, let's all together perform the first ziyarah and send the first salam and salutation to Mawla Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam and his beloved brother Abu al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salam. And after that, inshallah, I will be receiving your calls to make your voices echo into the atmosphere of Karbala. If you're ready, let's all together perform the first ziyarah as I stand on my feet and face the holy shrine of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Ya Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Mawlai, ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya Mawlai, ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Rasulillah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Amir al-Mu'mineen وابن سيد الوصيين. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء سيدتي نساء العالمين. السلام عليك وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتك. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. السلام عليك يا مولاي يا أبا الفضل العباس. السلام عليك يا قمر بني هاشم. السلام عليك يا ساقي العطاشا. السلام عليك يا حامل لواء الحسين. السلام عليك يا كفيل زينب. يا باب الحوائج أيها العبد الصالح المطيع لله ولرسوله ولأمير المؤمنين والحسن والحسين ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا زينب. السلام عليك يا جبل الصبر. Oh, Bibi Zainab, I send my humble salam to you, oh, the mountain of patience. As I said, in these days, Bibi Zainab salamullah alayha has been kept as a captive along with the other women and children and Imam al-Sajjad alayhi salam and Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salam in the caravan of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. They have been sent to Kufa. By the way, I'm waiting for your calls. If you are missing Karbala and would like to perform ziyarah and send your salam and salutations to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, feel free calling the number which is shown below the screen, and inshallah, my friends and I, we are here ready to receive your calls and make your voice echo into the atmosphere of Karbala. So your voice will be heard here in this studio just next to the holy shrine of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. So feel free calling the number which is shown below the screen, and inshallah we will be here at your service. Till then, and until I receive the first call, I would like to talk about the household of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. According to the narrations, after the martyrdom of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, the household of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, all the ladies and children, they have been sent to Kufa as captives. I don't want to talk about how they behaved with the children, with the ladies, and the tents which were burnt after the martyrdom of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam and his companions, which is a very, very tragic event and heartbreaking event. But I would like to say that after the martyrdom of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, according to the order of the Yazid, may Allah curse him, this hypocrite who became the false caliph after Muawiyah, may Allah curse him as well, all the martyrs of Karbala were beheaded, and the heads which were cut out of the body, they all were sent to Kufa before the household of Imam Hussein alayhi salam reached Kufa. Allahu Akbar. Just imagine and just try to make this scene how Bibi Zainab Salamullah alayha feels when she sees that the enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their enemies, are beheading the bodies, the martyrs of Karbala. Allahu Akbar. Anyway, the heads are sent to Kufa, and after 2 or 3 days, the household of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, all the ladies and children, alongside with Imam al-Sajjad alayhi salam, they receive the gates of Kufa. As they reach Kufa, Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad orders to take the heads once again to the gates of Kufa and put them on the, the sticks, and follow them with or maybe put them just in front of the caravan of the Asara, of the captives. Just imagine this scene. How heartbreaking is it? It's really heartbreaking. It's really tragic. When they just, in this, exactly in this time, as Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha and the other captives are entering Kufa, people of Kufa, they start to cry, they start to, shout, and this situation and the atmosphere is not a stable atmosphere. It was just like fear and pain was spreading everywhere. because from one side, the people of Kufa, they were sending messages to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and um, they had invited Imam Hussein alayhi salam to Kufa, and from the other side, they betrayed Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The men betrayed Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and they went to this war against Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, and they fought against Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So the atmosphere was kind of, toxic atmosphere. When Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha gets to the gates of Kufa and enters this city where her father was the ruler and the caliph in this city in his last days of life, when Imam Ali alayhi salam was a caliph, his place, and where he was ruling, his capital was Kufa. And people of Kufa knew Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. They knew how Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam was talking, the way of his speech. They were familiar with it. And especially Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha. Once Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha was the first lady of this city during the caliphate of the commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. When Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha enters Kufa and she visits the situation and the atmosphere, and have this in mind that it is only 2 or 3 days or 4 days after the martyrdom of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein and all his companions, and Bibi Zainab Salamullah alayha, she has seen all these scenes in front of her. Allahu Akbar, Ya Zainab, Ya Zainab. How is your heart right now? She starts to make a speech for the people of Kufa. This speech is just 1 page long, and I'm not going to read her speech, but some phrases of the speech says that she reminds the people of Kufa how ignorant and how hypocrite they are. They betrayed Imam of their time, although they had sent messages to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha reminds them all these things. And she gives a lecture, she makes a speech where those who have revealed and repeated the lecture to the history and the historians, they have just mentioned that when they hear the voice of Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha and the way of her speech, they thought that the commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam is talking, is speaking. Because the way Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha she is known as Aqilat Bani Hashim. Aqila means the wise person. Aqila comes from the word aql, and aql is brain, is the mind. She's Aqilat Bani Hashim. She was the wise person of the Hashimi tribe. She was the daughter of the commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. And she starts to give that lecture, that speech. And by the impact that she had on the atmosphere, every person becomes silent and they start to hear and listen to what Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha says. When I'm talking about this situation, maybe that's easy to hear, that okay, there's a lady, she's coming into the new city and she starts to give a lecture or just have a speech for them. But notice that the pain of the Shahada of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam is too fresh for a lady, a sister, to give a lecture or to give to have a very, very deep speech for the community, for people who have just betrayed her and her brother. Okay? Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha is not an ordinary person. Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha is has got she is also an infallible person, but the minor level of infallibility, and not just like Imam Ma'soom, but she is also alima ghair mu'allama. She is a knowledgeable person without any teacher. Her knowledge was divine. And this makes us believe that she was able to give a lecture in that situation, because she didn't only have to deal with the people of Kufa and the enemies of Ahlul Bayt. After the martyrdom of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, she had to deal with the kids who were running here and there everywhere. She had to take care of them. She had to take care of her brother, Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, who was sick at the moment. She had to show bravery so she can just keep the other people of the household of Imam Hussein alayhi salam firm all together, so they don't feel that they don't have any backup. And this is Lady Zainab. Allahu Akbar. And also, she had to transmit the message of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, who Imam Hussein alayhi salam sacrificed his blood and his life for, to the whole world. She had to deliver this message to the whole world, because if it wasn't for Baby Zainab Salamullah alayha, we would never ever be able to know about anything about Karbala. I'm receiving the first call from the first Zahra of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum, sister. You're calling Karbala, and this is Welcome to Karbala Live Ziyara Show. Would you like to perform Ziyara and send salam to Imam Hussein alayhi salam?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Please keep us in your dua and go ahead, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum ya Abu Abdullah. Assalamu alaikum ya Ibn Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum ya Khairatullah wa Ibn Khairat. Assalamu alaikum ya Ibn Amir al-Mu'minin wa Ibn Sayyid al-Wasim. Assalamu alaikum ya Ibn Fatima wa Sayyid al-Fad. Alameen Islam. Assalamu alaikum Salih al-Mutim. Assalamu alaikum Hussein wa ala Ali ibn al-Islam. Wa ala Allah al-Islam wa ala Sa'ad al-Islam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala السلام عليكم يا أبا الفضل عباس جل أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليكم يا ابن سيد المسلمين. السلام يا عبد الصمد يا عبد الله رسول. يا عبد الشفاء. السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. كاشف الكرب محمد الإسلام الإسلام شبك الكافر الإسلام. اللهم صل على محمد
يا حسين. Ya Abu Abdullah, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajlu farajahum. Thank you so much, sister, for your ziyarah. May Allah bless you, and inshallah soon you and your respected family be able to be here in Karbala and be ziyarah from Hussein Hassan, mashallah. Labbaik ya Hussein, sister. Ya Abu Abdullah, ya Hussein. My dear brothers and sisters, feel free calling this live ziyarah show through the number which is shown below the screen, and send your voices to Karbala. Be Zahra of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, and just have your names written in the list of Zuwar of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. I'm here to receive your calls, and I will be more than happy to serve you, dear brothers and sisters. So feel free sending your calls, sending your messages and your voices to Karbala. Inshallah, I'm here to serve you. As I'm just talking about the what happened in Kufa. Allahu Akbar. Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha gives a lecture, a very, very brave and strong lecture to the people of Kufa. I told you I'm not going to just go through the lines of her lecture, which I strongly advise all the respected viewers to search on the web and find the lecture, find the khutbah of Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha. It's only one page, maybe. It's not that long. And just read it with its translation. And just have this in mind, that Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha is giving these words, is talking to the people of Kufa, as it has only passed 3 or 4 days after the martyrdom of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. I told you the pain of the martyrdom of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam is still too fresh on the heart of Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha for her to give such a lecture, but she does it. She is Zainu Ab. She's the daughter of the commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. So she starts talking to the people of Kufa, and she reveals the right and shows them the bad face of Yazid, or let's say she shows them the true face of Yazid, because the true face of Yazid is just so corrupted and dirty that people in that time, they had no idea, most of them. Some of them were thinking that, okay, they are obeying the caliph of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, but they had no idea that Yazid was a usurper. He didn't meant to be the caliph according to the agreement which was signed between Muawiyah, Yazid's father, and Imam al-Hasan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam. Imam Hassan alayhi salam had a condition for Muawiyah that you are not allowed to set a caliph after yourself. If your day is over, you have to give back the caliphate to Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba, and if Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba wasn't alive, you have to give it back to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. This was the agreement, and Muawiyah accepted it. But after a while, he just tore apart this agreement, and he started to rule as he wanted, unfortunately. Anyway, Lady Zainab is giving this lecture strongly, just like her father, Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, where the enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they noticed that it's going to be their last day if Lady Zainab keeps talking about these great words and how dreadful and vicious are the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the army of Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad, may Allah curse him, and Umar al-Sa'd. So they order the head keepers, those who were just keeping the heads of the Ahlul Bayt and Imam Hussein alayhi salam and the other martyrs of Karbala, to move the heads in front of the camel on which Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha were sitting on. In this moment, I'm just saying all these things to focus on this point in history. According to what Lady Sakina Salamullah alayha reveals, and you can find it in the Bihar al-Anwar of Allama Majlisi. I think it is in the book 24, volume 24, if I'm not mistaken. Lady Sukaina reveals and says that then Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha looks at the out of the Kajawa, which is the place where and people who were just sitting and riding a camel. It was just kind of like a room or something. She takes the curtain away and she sees the head of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam just in front of her. She wasn't expecting this. Although she knew about everything that was going to happen to her before the day of Ashura, before Karbala, because Salama had told her about this. The commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam had told her about what is going to happen. Imam Hussein alayhi salam had told her. They knew what is going to happen, but this situation, I don't know, even though she was told about this situation, but just if you imagine this situation and this scene, it is unbearable. It is too hard to withstand. It is too hard to show no reaction about it. She sees the head of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam full of blood being carried in front of her. And here, according to Lady Sakina Salamullah alayha, reveals to us and narrates, Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha hits her forehead to the pillar of the Kajawa أو محمل فنطحت جبينها بمقدم المحمل, and the blood starts to stream down from her forehead to the ground. And Lady Sakina says that we saw the blood, the fresh blood coming out of her forehead and just streaming down. Allahu Akbar. So if one day someone asked you why Shia Muslims are hitting their foreheads with the knives and they shed blood out of their head and foreheads in the day of Ashura, you can say that they have learned this from Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha. Imam Sajjad alayhi salam indeed knew what his sister did. Indeed. But Imam Sajjad alayhi salam didn't say to Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha, didn't say that, okay, sister, don't do this, this is not accepted, this is not true. Which means that Imam Sajjad alayhi salam accepted this kind of behavior, and this kind of behavior is true if it is for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. So you can see that these days, on the day of Ashura, mu'mineen and mu'minat, lovers of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, they hit their heads, their foreheads, by knives, and they shed their bloods in the memory of what Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha did. And we seek refuge to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We seek closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. نسأل أن نتقرب إلى الله by these. Ya Abu Abdullah, there is no day like yours. There is no ground, there is no field like the ground and field of Karbala. لا يوم كيومك يا أبا عبد الله. This is what Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba alayhi salam said when he saw his brother Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam crying, when Imam Hussein alayhi salam was seeing his brother Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba was feeling in pain because of the poison which he had been given by Ju'dah, his wife. Ya Abu Abdullah, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Abu Abdullah. We don't have that much time to the end of this live ziyarah show. My dear brothers and sisters, as I said, I'm here to receive your calls. I'm here to give you the great opportunity of being a ziyarah of Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam. But in the meantime, I just wanted to mention this historical event, just to share it with all of you. You may know it better than me, but for those who don't know it, I just want to ask every one of you, dear brothers and sisters, to read more about Karbala. Try to get more information about Ahlul Bayt, about Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha. And just like Imam Sadiq alayhi salam and Imam Rada alayhi salam, these both two Imams have said, Rahimallah man ahya amrana. May Allah bless those who revive our issue. And how is that? It's by revealing and telling the history and the narrations of Ahlul Bayt salawatullahi wa salamu alayhim ajma'in to those who have no idea about it. So I strongly ask you to introduce Ahlul Bayt to whole world. May Allah bless you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. And inshallah one day all of you be here in Karbala. Labbayka Ya Hussein.
We have all lost loved ones. Our duty of care towards parents, siblings, friends, and family does not end with their death. Rather, we have a duty to pray for their forgiveness and to continue our kindness by conveying rewards to them by reciting Surah Al-Fatiha. Imam Sadiq Salamullahi alayhi says, if you recite